and the portal. So what I want to do is show you a quick video on how, or a quick little demo on how to actually create a quiz, just to show you how easy it actually is. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard here. Right, a couple places I can do create a new quiz. So all I have to do is click that button. No surprise, you got to give it a name. This is going to be a reading quiz is the name of it, so I'll know what it was called. Save, and then it will bring you to the main editor here, layout. So by default it'll open up, the first question. It's going to assume you want to put a multiple choice. But if I close this for a second, here's where you're going to start building the quiz. Everything is going to go between this top bar and this bottom bar, which will just, that way you can save either from the top or the bottom. So you begin by dragging the elements. So what if I first want to put the header and all that, I'm going to switch it over to the layout elements. And I want to put a header on this quiz, give it a name that the students would see. So I literally click and drag this up here, and it'll drop it right in here. And then when I roll over it, I click on the pencil, and I can put whatever I want. This was going to be the reading quiz on Hamlet. No, not on Hamlet. On race for the double helix, which is a biology text for the double helix, if I could type. Okay, I'm going to save, so that will put it as a header. I can put a little text block if I'd like in here to give little instructions. And it could be, please answer the following questions. You may use your text as a resource. Okay, and I click save. And now I can start adding. I want to put a little horizontal rule across the bottom just to break it up a little. If you have sections on a quiz, you could do that. Now I want to start putting some questions in. I can do it a couple ways. I can either click add a question, or if I go over here to the standard elements, I can drag the kind of question I want and then edit it. So we'll do it both ways. So first I'm going to put a multiple choice, which will have only one correct answer. Really click and drag it, and I want it below the rule. Boom, click it, and now I can edit it. You can read this where you type the question you want here. Who are the is the youngest of Watson and Crick? Type. And the answers here, I don't want yes or no, I want Watson, and then click in here, Crick. And now, and you can paste from a spreadsheet, and there's instructions for how to do that if you have a bunch of questions somewhere else. I can add another item here, which we see would just add another option for multiple choice. I can delete them pretty easily. You obviously can add more than one. And once I hit continue here, it'll ask me to select the correct one, so that it will, if you have it on autocorrect, it can have give the kids the correct answers. Watson was indeed, so I'm going to hit finish, and you can see there's the first question that's been added, and it's highlighted that Watson was the correct answer. I can add a question this way, and it's going to say what kind of question, single answer. I'm going to have a little short answer one, and I'm going to have the question be what were the driving forces behind the discovery of the structure of DNA? Hit continue, and if I would like to have it autocorrect, you see here you put some words that it will scan for, that if they're present in the answer it'll give them correct credit for it. And again, you can read it whether you have it as a single word, it's going to look for it, multiple words. Right now I'm not going to bother because I don't want to have it try to correct this one. Finish, and then I have two questions so far. Again, so you can add a question either here or by going over here and dragging one of the options, put it in there. Once you're all set, click Save Changes, and it's going to spin around a little, and now it has been saved. And if I look at the preview, I can see what this quiz would look like for the students. Okay, I like that. Say that's I'm all set there. A couple things I can set. I can decide to publish it right now, but before I do that, I want to turn on some notifications and redirects. Right here you'll see you can have it send you an email every time somebody has submitted something. Click add and you can have it send you an email to whatever email address you'd like. You can have it include the, obviously any of these in the checkboxes, the results. You can have a submission message that would go back to the students once they have submitted the quiz. So you can show the results of the quiz to them, and let's give them back the correct answers if you'd like, including the grading if you got it set up to do the auto grading. I can send a confirmation email which could include the full results of the quiz, include a custom message. So I don't want that, but I do want to just give them a little message when they've submitted it. Thanks for your answers. Mr. Mac. Okay, so now they would get that once they've submitted their quiz. So it makes it a little more personal. You can turn on the grading here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Once you click on it, it will enable it, and then you can decide how you want to weight the questions by point value, which you can give it a certain number of points. And if you have correct keywords, it's got to look for certain keywords in the answer here. Without any, it'll look for anything and give it credit. You can also do it weight by percentage, several different ways you can play around with it. In the results, once it has been submitted, you would be able to see the results by grade and any number of things. But since this quiz hasn't been submitted, we won't be able to do that yet. So when we're in the build and edit back here, this was our quiz. If we want to publish it now, I click the Publish button. It's going to bring me to a window where it's going to say, OK, it has published it, which means it's now going to be listed as an upcoming quiz. Close this, show you where it'll show up now. So if I click on the upcoming quizzes, you have to refresh. Oh, I haven't scheduled it, I'm sorry. Current quiz. Because we don't have it scheduled, it won't show up in any of these. My mistake there, pardon me. We go back into the Manage the Quizzes now. It will show up in our list here, right? We have this reading quiz. Let's go in here. It's been published, but we need to schedule it. Click on it. It's been published, which means it exists at the final site server. Now we're going to schedule it. It says, okay, when do you want to start it? So maybe this is a quiz that's going to start after they've done a little reading on the 10th. It's going to open up at 8 a.m. and I'm going to give them to the end of the day on September 10th until 10 p.m. I don't want to stay on too late. So they have some time between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. I can set it so it's unlimited. They can spend as long as they want, or I can put it be 5 minutes and it will automatically close after 5 minutes if they don't complete it. So I'm going to do 10 minutes. Create the quiz date. It says, notice you got to choose a group. I have to decide which class this is going to go to. Since I have more than one class, I can send it to more than one class. This is just for in the new faculty training. Now when I create the quiz date, it will be all set. Here's the one it's been scheduled for. So if I close this now and go back, upcoming quizzes, we'll see that here's that one we just created, the reading quiz, and it's scheduled for September 10th to start at 8 a.m. It'll be available at that time, and it is timed, and I could go back in and edit it by clicking here. Where this will show up is a couple of places. We'll go back to our home on the portal. It will show up in the activity stream once the quiz date appears. It'll show that there's a quiz available. Also in the calendar, actually, if you look at the full calendar, because we've scheduled it, I'm not sure if it'll show up right now. I'll double check. It usually shows the quizzes that are coming up. See, here's that reading quiz. It's on the calendar already. There's one quiz so the students could see, that's coming up. And they would be able to, once the date it's open, they'd be able to click on this to actually submit the answers and take the quiz. Until the date when it opens comes up, it's not available to the students. So there's a couple ways. Right, there's a reading quiz. If I click take the quiz now, it says you want to start, and it says yes, and my guess is Oh, this did allow me actually. See, it's got a little timer going here. Watson, I'm just going to say blah, and click submit, so you'll see one more. Boom. So then it quickly says thanks for your answers. That's the response that I had put there. And that is the basics of how to do the quizzes. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know.